What is going on, everybody? Welcome back once again to an Eat Like a Man, yet another cooking video on this automotive themed channel. Today, Eat Like a Man, we're going to be doing bacon, because who doesn't like bacon? Let's get started. To start with, we're going to take one pork belly, trim the skin off of it because I didn't want that. Then we are going to take cup and a half dark brown sugar because that's all I had. Cup and a half coarse kosher salt. I had more than that, but I wanted a 50-50. Fresh ground peppercorns, about that much, 2 tablespoons give or take. Freshly toasted and crushed up coriander seed, about that much, about half as much. That stuff's fairly potent. And then pink curing salt, prog number 1. The container said a teaspoon for 5 pounds. That's 8 pounds, so that is a teaspoon and a little bit more than a half. That should get it done. I'm just going to be using a whisk. I'm going to incorporate these guys first, kind of, if my bowl will hold still. It's not. That's good enough. You don't need to watch me stir this stuff. Boring. I think that should do it. The most important thing is that to get that pink curing salt homogenized in there. Now you can use whatever you want in there that you want to flavor your bacon with. You can paprika, you can use just pepper and salt, plain sugar, molasses, maple syrup. Yeah, we need a wet ingredient. So I went to the store and found the cheapest I could find. Take the lid off. Oh, it wasn't quite the cheapest. There was another one of the same size that was 50 cents cheaper for the bottle. And this comes recommended. It's Canadian, and I don't think I've met a Canadian I don't like. So Derek uses this in his pressure washer to blow the crud off of cars, and if it blows crud off of cars, you know it's going to do a number on bacon. It smells sweet. They say don't cook with stuff that you wouldn't be willing to drink. I don't know, but we need to get some of this in there. And I'm going to put about that much to start with. That's about a cup, I guess, maybe. Looks like that is going to about do it for me. If I can keep from turning this over. Incorporate the rest of that. Probably a little bit too much liquid. Probably. That's what it looks like. Maybe 3/4 of a cup I should have used instead of a whole unmeasured cup. I'm going to take roughly half of it. I'm going to do that. I have to get my hand dirty. Probably cut that bit off, but I won't. Really rub it in. Flip it over. This is the side that had the skin on it. Alright, for 8 pounds, I've got that much left. I'm going to wind up dumping it in the bag. Probably cut the ingredients down a bit, maybe to 3/4 of a pound. Now I got to get this in a bag. I don't suppose you need to watch me do that. Fit 8 pounds of meat in a 2.5 gallon zippy bag. I'm pretty disappointed and hefty because I went through 3 of them before I got one that would seal. Those things are expensive. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the middle of my refrigerator, inside actually. Does that make sense? I don't think so. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end this one for today, because I'm leaving for 5, 6, 7, 10, I don't know how many days. Today is Sunday. I'll put this in my fridge Wednesday night, Thursday morning before I leave, I'm gonna rotate it at 180 degrees. And that's where we're gonna end up with this one next week, or maybe not next week, week after, because this is gonna take 10 days, some days, yeah, to cure up the way I want it. Then part 2 will be what we do with this after that, but it smells good. This should be fun. Oh, we are back. It has been, take my shoe off, 11 days that this has been in my fridge. I'm gonna trim any of that fat off. Be alright, be alright. I flipped it once about midway through. Now all I gotta do is stick it in the middle of 190 to 200 degree grill. Got my temperature probe in. Around 200 degrees ish is fine. It'll up and down, up and down. And in this box here, got a whole mess of charcoal in this box here, and a whole mess of apple wood. Some wet, some dry. Kids playing ball. Finally someone's out playing ball in their yard. Gonna let this set until I get an internal temperature of 150-ish degrees, and then we'll pull it, cool it, yada yada, etc. Be back about 2 hours. Ah, no hat. It's been 3-ish, 4-ish hours, and I've pulled it, and this is what it looks like. Now I am going to let that cool completely, probably in the fridge, probably overnight. Then I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna start eating it, because that looks good, it smells good. I might have used a little too much salt. I did sneak a taste, but maybe I didn't rinse it well enough. I mean, I only rinsed it for like 20-30 minutes ish. I don't know. Be back in a bit. Broke the real knife out because, well, why wouldn't you? So I'm going to slice this a couple times, and we're going to make some bacon. That just isn't some of the prettiest slices of bacon you've ever seen. Yowza. Now, next. Alright, I've got the fire hot. In my opinion, all great recipes should have the phrase, start a fire in them. But that's just me. So we got the fire started. Get some bacon sliced. That's hot, I think. Yes. It's hot, so we're going to take a slice. And since this isn't store-bought stuff, I'm going to crowd it. But we'll fry that up. We'll be back when it cooks up some more. That's the first flip. It's looking pretty good. Is there a more satisfactory sound? Well, we got our bacon. It's the one thing we do with bacon when we got bacon. We make a BLT. No, I'm not taking this off. Got a weird growth on my head. It's called my head. Problem with making a BLT is I got no bread. So I gotta go back in time and make some, because I forgot. Let's go. Alright, we've gone back in time to make the bread. This is what we're gonna do. 2.5 cups all-purpose flour. About that much level tablespoon, call that a tablespoon, I don't know if the actual size is, of baking powder, double-acting baking powder, double-acting, very important. Also to that, about a little bit less than that, about 3/4 of this of plain old salt. It's really all you need. I did put a splash of a tiny dash of garlic powder and onion powder, just a tiny bit, just because I like a little oomph extra. Then over here we're going to do tepid buttermilk, about that much. To that we're going to put roughly one of those spoonfuls of just plain old white sugar. And now for the secret, not really secret, we're going to dump in buggies, active dried buggies specifically, and we're going to dump in about that much. We put our sugar in there to give our buggies something to eat that makes them burp and fart. And we want our buggies to burp and fart a lot. And then we're just going to let this bloom or proof up a bit before dumping it in there. See how the bubbles? Bubbles. That means they bloomed. And we call it proofed because they done proofed they alive. And them suckers are in there just burping and farting away. Farting like a little kid in the bathtub. I'm looking at you. Now we're going to take this and I'm going to let it set for another couple minutes. It's been about 6. Should give it about 10. And let all the little boogies get incorporated and really burp and fart away. Then we'll dump it in there. Forgot to add oil. So I'm going to put in roughly about a spoonful of oil. And I just grabbed closest oil at hand, which was that stuff. I'm also going to add a little bit more moisture, a little bit more buttermilk, about that much. Stuff's been in my fridge for a long time. Is buttermilk supposed to have lumps in it? No, it lasts a long time, but whatever. Now I'm going to finish it. I had to get in there with my hands. You want to knead it until it goes smooth. That's probably not quite smooth enough, but it springs back. Now what I'm going to do is oil the bowl a little bit. Get it all up in there and around. It's just the same bowl. You can use another bowl if you're picky. Ball. Put it in. I'm going to take my ball and put it in there. Tiny bit more oil. Oops, that's too much. Oh well. Be alright. I'm going to leave him set here, covered in this warm spot, until he doubles in size. Alright, check it out. She has size doubled times 2. So now, gonna let all that air out. Then I'm going to cover it again until I get the pan ready. Alright, it's doubled-ish again in size, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it in the center of a 400-degree oven for, I'll let you know when it's done, because I don't know how long it's going to take. Alright, bread's done. Didn't puff up quite like I wanted it to. That's okay. It's still good enough. So, what do you guys call that? I call it the heel, in piece, whatever. We're going to take these, match them up. Ooh, hot. Hasn't cooled off yet. We're going to take those and we're going to dice them up. Then we need a tomato. This ginormous guy is actually on sale today. Good enough. Alright, Duke's mayonnaise. All 4 pieces. Then, Latish. Keep dropping it. Mater. It's a big chunk of mater. God damn it. Now I would salt these, but the bacon's salty enough, so I don't think I'm going to. Now the hard part, getting the bacon on there. Alright, so that is it. That's how to make your own bacon. You should try it. It's not that hard. Instead of using a smoker, you can add liquid smoke. That's distracting, isn't it? Gross. Who cares? It's olive oil. No shame in using liquid smoke if you use it for the right reason, i.e. you don't have a place where you can grill. I imagine it has ingredients on the bottle for your weights and measures and all that good stuff. So you should definitely give this a try. I use too much salt, or I let it cure for too long, and it's very, very salty. It's not going to stop me from eating. It is bacon. But now I got BLTs, fresh bread, fresh bacon, fresh tomatoes, fresh lettuce, and I got some goodies to take to the guys at work tomorrow. So that has been yet another Eat Like a Man. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I got schmoo all over my chunk of mater. And unfortunately, that is where we're